Very good afternoon, principals, in charges, and nodal ambassadors and students of this program. I would love to introduce Arsh Choudhary, a class 12 student. He's the founder of a very good initiative that he's taken, a project called Prayaas. Basically, the main aim of this project is for promoting a more inclusive society. As you all know, that there are certain rights of persons with disabilities which they are not aware of. So, what Arsh has done is he has created an e-book titled Respect and Inclusion, a young person's guide to interacting with persons with disabilities. So, through this book, he aims to sensitize the students and the teachers in building an environment which is inclusive friendly, where everyone is empowered to reach their full potential. So, in this meeting, he will be sharing his PowerPoint presentation and details. And shortly after this meeting, I will be sharing with you the ebook that Arsh has made. I would request all of you to please circulate this ebook amongst all your students and teachers so that they are aware of the rights of the disabled and they make their school environment friendly for the disabled people. Arsh, are you there, beta?
Yes, ma'am, I'm with you.
So, welcome you, Arsh, as a district education officer. I have 88 participants with me in the seminar. So, I hand over the mic to you. You may start. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I am Arsh Choudhary. I'm a student of grade 12 and I'm a founder of a school initiative called Prayaas. I want to begin by thanking you all for being here today. It's really special to see representatives from so many different schools, 88 gathered for this interaction. You know what this tells me? That you all care about your students, about your schools, and about creating a more inclusive world. Today, I want to talk to you about something that's deeply personal and I believe absolutely urgent: inclusion, especially for students with disabilities. I recall 2 years back, I had the privilege of visiting a school by the name Amar Jyoti Charitable School at Delhi. It is run none other by Padma Shri awardee Dr. Uma Tuli as a truly inclusive school. What this means is that the proportion of students with disabilities to proportion of students without is about 1 to 1. That means 50% students with disabilities and 50% without. I interviewed a few of these students and I learned a lot about their exposure to inclusion at such an early age, from kindergarten itself. And it had made such an environment as they grew up around them that they did not feel separated or treated differently in any way. Each of them excelled in their own unique way. This was the founding stone behind the initiation of Prayas. I started this in 2024 with a few friends. Our main aim is to spread awareness about the rights of persons with disabilities. I've recently compiled a guide, which ma'am had given you an overview of, an ebook. It pulls together insights, experiences, and practical tools for schools like yours. It's titled Respect and Inclusion, a young person's guide to interacting with persons with disabilities. This is, however, not just a book, it's a conversation starter. And I hope it becomes a part of a much bigger change in how we build our schools and shape our students' experiences. I'm going to be sharing a presentation with all of you. You must be wondering why this guide should matter to us. Let me ask you this. Have you ever felt out of something? A group, a conversation, or a decision? Now, imagine feeling that way every single day, just because your environment wasn't built with you in mind. That's the experience many children with disabilities have. not because we mean to exclude them, but because our systems, our language, even our habits often overlook their needs. Now, we're at a point where inclusion is no longer a bonus or an ideal, it's a necessity. And the beautiful thing is, we don't need to start from scratch. We just need to shift our lens. So, this guide is a small contribution to that shift. It's meant for educators, it's meant for parents, for staff, for students. It breaks down the big, often intimidating idea of inclusion into small, doable actions. Because real change doesn't happen in policies, it
Yeah.
happens in everyday interaction. Let me quickly walk you through what's inside the guide chapter wise. Now, chapter 1 is titled What is Disability? We begin by looking into what disability really means. It's not flaw, it's something that it's not even something that needs to be fixed. It's a form of diversity, just like language, just like culture, even personality. This chapter unpacks identity and self definition. It encourages us to listen to how people with disabilities describe their own experiences and to honor them. For example, some may prefer saying person with autism, while others may say autistic person. Respecting this isn't about being politically correct, it's about being human. Chapter 2 is titled Disability Etiquette and Everyday Respect. You'd be surprised how much confusion and fear exists around simply interacting with someone who has a disability. People wonder, should I offer to help or wait to be asked? Can I ask about their condition? What if I say the wrong thing? This chapter gives guidance on these situations. It talks about tone, about body language, and most importantly, not making assumptions. A quick story here. A teacher once told me she always opened doors for a student in a wheelchair. One day, the student asked, can I try it myself first? That moment helped the teacher realize that kindness is wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. But independence matters too. Chapter 3 is titled Supporting Specific Needs. Now, here is where we get practical. We talk about things like sensory needs. That means students who are sensitive to noise, to light, or to touch as well. Then there's communication differences. So there are students who use some AAC devices, and they might even want to use sign language or who require more processing time to understand certain things. Then we have physical access. Of course, that means ramps and lifts, but that also include, it also should include seating, materials, even class layouts can make a difference. Now, last thing is mental health and emotional needs. Students with anxiety, trauma, or history of trauma, or even neurodivergence. Neurodivergence means that you are neurologically different, your mind works in a different way. So, this chapter is about meeting students where they are rather than forcing them to fit in a mold that we have created as a society. Now, chapter 4 is titled What to Say and What Not to Say. It's very straightforward here. Language is a very powerful thing. It can build connection, but there's a chance it can also reinforce a stereotype. Now, here we explore why inspirational can be patronizing, why terms like normal versus special are problematic. And we also discuss how to ask questions in a very respected and yet open minded way. Chapter 5, it's called Creating Inclusive Spaces. This chapter is about design, about physical design, and emotional climate. We look at a visual schedule for predictability, maybe quiet corners or sensory breaks for children, flexible seating as well, and collaborative rule making with students. So, the goal here is to create classrooms where every child feels like they belong, not like they're just being accommodated. Chapter 6 is titled Encouraging Independence. Inclusion doesn't mean doing everything for the student, it means empowering them to do things for themselves. This chapter explores letting students make choices, celebrating their goals, not just their grades, and giving them tools to express what they need. Chapter 7 is titled Disability Rights and Advocacy in India. So, this chapter actually zooms out. It reminds us of the bigger picture. Here we cover Indian laws like the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act, the importance of accessibility audits in school, they're extremely essential, and ways schools can become advocates. and not just participants in this movement. You don't have to be an activist to make change, but you do need to be aware. Schools can play a huge role in shifting public attitudes, starting with our youngest citizens. So, to conclude, I want you all to take a moment and imagine one student in your school who might benefit from this kind of shift. A student who might be sitting quietly at the edge of the group, or one who's often misunderstood. What could one small change mean to them? A softer light in the classroom, a staff member who uses the right pronoun, a friend who knows how to be inclusive. These are very small things, but they add up a lot. In fact, they change lives. So, how can schools help? Here are three ideas. This guide. Use this guide as a staff discussion tool. Host maybe a short series, maybe one chapter per week. Invite some teachers to reflect together on it, right? Two, include students in the conversation. Ask them what inclusion means to them and make them part of your planning, not just your policies. Three, make inclusion visible. Now that means through posters, your assemblies, through guest speakers, even student-led initiatives and workshops. So let inclusion be part of your school's everyday language. You don't need to get it perfect. You just need to start and you need to keep listening. I truly believe every child who deserves to walk in a classroom has to feel these three things. I am safe here. I am valued here. And I belong here. That's the heart of inclusion. That's what this guide is about. If you'd like a copy, I'd be happy to share it with you. Ma'am already has it with us, with herself, and she will share it to all schools later on. And if any of your schools are interested in diving deeper, whether that's through workshops, student activities, or parent sessions, I would love to collaborate. Thank you again for your time, your presence, and most importantly, your willingness to grow. Let's keep building schools where everyone belongs. Thank you so much, everyone. Our email ID is right here for reaching out. You can please take it for yourself, maybe take a photo or a screenshot.
Thank you, Arsh. Thank you very much. And I think this is the need of the hour on this project on which you are working, because we have disabled students, sorry, with us. And at times we don't know how to behave with them. The teachers are not aware, the students are not aware. So, all these teachers and students who have joined us today for this short meeting, we would be making them the ambassadors of this program. And since there were holidays, the summer vacations had started in private schools. So my most of the schools could not join. But I assure you that your ebook will be circulated to all the schools, and they will be sending me what all they are planning the activities. They will collaborate with you, and we can take this project further. We will be piloting this project in our district, so that each child and each teacher, each parent that is of Mohali is aware about what you are doing. Your prayers will not go waste. We assure you that. And we will sensitize them to the most about what is disability and how we should treat a disabled person. Thank you very much.